Planet Earth, the only planet of our knowledge that is capable of sustaining life. This planet, our planet, has been home to us for millions of years, providing everything we need. It has been good to us. We learned to adapt to constant change, learned to utilize resources to the max. We evolved, all which led to what we are now. Us humans have spent countless millennia on development, becoming the most predominant species on the planet, however became quite ignorant of the aftermath of our scintillating accomplishments. Our planet has been good to us, but have we? Behind every leap into a brighter future, there were paths tainted by climate change, rising sea levels, increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and many more. All signs that show Earth has started to turn its back on mankind. Earth is now at a critical state, with reports getting worse by the day. Man is getting the titles of the cancer and parasite of planet Earth for a reason. Extinction is no longer a fairy tale. It will become our future if we choose to go further without looking back. Technological development is always welcome, but we now have to start working on using the developments to preserve the ecosystem. Preserving our species is always mankind's first priority, and we may be able to redeem our past once we start finding ways to preserve our ecosystem.
Simply said, the ecosystem is dying. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, damage done to the ecosystem has risen exponentially, now affecting the ecosystem in a very unfavorable way to mankind. The aerial, marine, and soil ecosystems of the world have changed drastically.
Destruction of the ecosystem has been a threat to Earth and to mankind for a long time. Specific problems that are caused by the current status of the ecosystem can be largely classified into three categories: problems under sea, problems on the ground, and problems up in the air.
Usage of coal fuels and pollution has increased carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere, trapping heat inside the planet and eventually made the planet hotter, and is still going. Fluorine gas, which is released mostly by air conditioners, destroy the ozone layer, which prevents harmful ultraviolet rays from reaching the surface.
There are also problems up in the sky. When the ozone layer is destroyed, the amount of harmful ultraviolet radiation absorption naturally decreases, while the amount of intestinal dust reaching the surface increases abnormally. The biggest reason ultraviolet rays adversely affect humans or animals is that DNA, nucleic acids, and proteins, the basic factors of human or animal cells, absorb 260 to 278 of ultraviolet rays to the maximum. With a damaged ozone layer, life will not be able to go on. It will affect plant growth, cause various skin cancers, immune deficiency disorders, and many more that will make the planet a literal hellhole.
The hotter the planet gets, the glacier will melt, resulting in rising sea levels. Considering the fact that even now there are countries at the verge of submersion, this would obviously be a catastrophe for civilization. The sea temperature will also rise, killing the marine ecosystem.
The most grave problem is that the marine ecosystem is losing its primary step of the food chain, coral reefs. Because of external factors such as rapid increase of the temperature and contamination underwater, the reefs eventually die out. This is called coral bleaching. And when the bleaching is all done, the reefs die out. Actually, about half of the Great Barrier Reef has been killed by marine heat waves since 1995, which is also a result of global warming. Every food chain undersea starts from the coral reef. The following steps are greatly influenced by the number of coral reefs, and at the last reaches the most dominant step, humanity. The bleaching of coral reefs impacted the fishery economy quite much. $375 million annually is lost.
Randomly disposing of waste destroys the soil ecosystem due to the pollution of soil and drinkable water. Numerous species have lost their homes and are now endangered. Nature has started to act in a very hostile way to us, and it's not long until it's too late.
Mankind's selfishness also broke the ecosystem on the ground, using up more than 56% of limited resources over a short period of time. According to Living Planet Report 2020 by WWF, the number of mammals, pisces, birds, reptiles, amphibians decreased by 68% on average. They quote that this terrible decrease of species is a sign that the relationship between humanity and nature is fundamentally broken. Mankind is fully responsible for this quite devastating loss.
Humans have wreaked havoc on the planet to a nearly irreversible state. To go back, we will need a very powerful and realistic solution, a way to save the ecosystem. Fundamentally, global warming will have to be stopped. Once global warming is stopped, the sea levels and temperature will come back to its normal state, which will eventually restore the ecosystem. After all, nature still wills to restore itself when given time. On an individual scale, we should work on minimizing food waste. Food waste leaves no choice for governments to make landfills where methane gas, a greenhouse gas, is released constantly. In addition, we will have to work on recycling. So recycling is almost emphasized on a daily basis. There are many times when it does not happen as ideally thought. We could also work on limiting the use of reusable products. On a bigger scale, governments should prioritize minimizing carbon dioxide levels. Reducing the use of fossil fuels and using more renewable energy is important. The UK is a perfect example. In only 8 years, they were able to reduce fossil fuels use by 88%. And now, by 2020, the amount of energy they get from fossil fuels is only 5%. Next, we have to stop the destruction of the ozone layer. Emitted from air conditioners, freon gas is the main reason for the destruction of the ozone layer. The government should find policies on reducing the use of freon gas and research on ways to condition the air in a more eco-friendly way. Since the ozone layer fixes itself over time, we could expect the ozone layer to come back to its original state if we regulate freon gas. Lastly, we should fix nature. Human greed and carelessness has destroyed countless ecosystems, the lungs of the planet. Governments should at least arrange tree planting campaigns and find ways for humans and nature to coexist. The whole world should understand that the world is dying and join worldwide Green New Deals. The ecosystem, our ecosystem, is our responsibility.
This has to happen now. This is you and me.
This is humanity's biggest assignment yet. We have to take the first great leap into a better future.
We have to start preserving our species.
We have to start preserving our species.
We have to start preserving our species.
We have to start preserving our species.